Welcome everyone to Socks Out Racing, who's cover race 5 of the Spec MX-5 Open held at Watkins Glen International. The race took place on the 25th of July 2015. Weather was a bit warmer with a temperature of 82 degrees Fahrenheit, and the race's top qualifier was Johan Hallberg with a 2:14.2 and a strength of field of a 22:21. So definitely some stiffer competition this week as we get the race underway. Team Bushfink Racing takes the first row with Johan starting up front with his teammate Carl Williams sitting in second. Giuseppe Annunzi did really well, qualifying third, and then Marc Letourneau ended up qualifying fourth despite missing the last two races. One last notable mention as we get things underway is Anton Duran, who had missed the previous 4 races, finally was able to make it out for his first SOR race today. One thing you'll notice about the start this week, it wasn't nearly as hectic off the line as it has been in previous weeks. Everybody got sorted out very quickly, and looks like the 17 is going to make an early move as he challenges, it looks like, for 5th. That's what it looks like there. So Burbage is already making a move as we follow him and Duran as we enter the back straightaway. You can see the leaders are all really well sorted as they start a giant game of tag down the back straight. And when you say game of tag, it's because that's how these cars are. They have such a big draft coming down the straightaway. It's almost like you just tag along until you decide you want to make a move. And it looks like Burbage is taking a move on the inside. Same with Mulder. Mulder's pulling a similar move on Johnson as they come around the outer loop. Coming into the dangerous turn 6 as we hit the chute of the boot, and Mark really just does not do well. I think it was a misshift and put him to the outside. That's going to hurt as it puts him all the way back in 8th place in these very early stages of the race. As we head down the sole of the boot, you've got 5th through 9th all on trail and 1st through 3rd together. So right now we've got 2 different groups of racing going on, really starting things off for a very exciting race. By lap 3, Mark gets his rhythm back and really starts putting some pressure on Johnson. So Letourneau in the 8 car really pushing hard, and it looks like Smith is out into the, just way out there in turn 1. I think he had some fans he wanted to wave at, so that's the only thing we could think of why you would be venturing out that far. So now we've got 2 groups in the back fighting. We've got Letourneau and Johnson fighting for 7th place, and then we have Burbage, Mulder, and Duran fighting for 4th. And it looks like Letourneau is able to get under Johnson as we go around the outer loop. So what do we got here for 4th? We got 3 wide heading towards the chute. This is going to be interesting. And Mulder backs out. We got Duran and Burbage going around turn 6 side by side. And Mark is eating up all the ground he can while these 2 battle it out up front. Burbage is not letting it down as Duran fights to get ahead, but Burbage again gets another run out of 7, putting him alongside Duran as they go down the boot straight. Mark is also snuck behind Mulder, and it looks like he might be making a vie for this battle for 4th as him and Duran go side by side. And looks like Mark's going to be able to get ahead. He looks to the inside of Burbage in the 17. Turn 9. As we head to turn 10, the field gets sorted out. It looks like Smith's having some trouble with his car as he raises the wall back there. Not quite sure what happened, but he didn't have to pit or take any repair time, so we're going to assume it was nothing severe, so just a light graze with the wall. Lap 4, Letonalt goes to the inside of Burbage. As we go into turn 1, and he does, he gets the job done and takes back 4th position. Duran is also looking to capitalize on this opportunity as he tries to chase down the 17. Looks like Burbage is again closing back up on Letonalt, and they go drag racing down the back straight. This is one area of the track you will constantly see these cars battling. By running the classic layout, you get a nice long straight, so you can really play a draft strategy here. And oh no, trouble! Looks like that's for position 6. Johnson got a little bit into Duran, and Duran, oh no, gets off track and hard into the wall. And Tripp thankfully misses him. Boy, that was close. So let's go on board here with Duran and just see what happened. He's off on the grass, hits a bad bump, nails the wall. That's going to put him behind the pit wall, and I think he ends his race there. So as we go to the battle for 4th that we were covering earlier, it looks like Letonalt has put a fair amount of distance on Burbage, and at a point where the 17 really can't make any moves at this point. So Letonalt starts his chase to track down the leaders. Speaking of the leaders, they ran close for the majority of the race. Even here, we're on lap 6, and the cars, pretty much these 3 cars have been an accordion. They spread out a little bit, they get close together. No one really making a move. It's more like a game of tag than a game of leapfrog. But lap 9, things change up. Looks like Hallberg was able to get break free of his teammate and put some ground in between them. So that makes Hallberg your undisputed race leader at this point in the race. Things go quiet until lap 12 when Mulder catches back up to Burbage. And we mentioned it earlier, you will see these cars drag race down this back straight. The bus stop was added, otherwise known as the inner loop, for the faster cars to prevent tragedies from occurring in real life, so that's why that was added. But these cars are slow enough, even in a virtual series where your life is not on the line. It's a little bit more manageable to run these without having to slow down because they don't hit the same kind of speeds your GT cars and so on do. Going into the toe of the boot, looks like Burbage has got a nose, but Mulder is going underneath for a crossover. Head down the boot straight, neck and neck. Who has the better run? Looks like Mulder. Mulder has the better run as we go to the heel, which is turn 8 of the course. And wow, Burbage is not giving him any room, running just door to door as we finish up the boot into turn 9. Looks like Burbage does get a better run, so I know he was complaining about tire wear on the front. We can see he's trying to keep as much load off that tire as he goes sideways coming out of turn 9. Turn 10, he goes in. Looks like he caught the curb. He's going, oh, he's got it in the grass. It's getting loose. Is he going to save it? Is he going to save it? On the brakes. He might be able to keep it in the wall. He might not. Oh, and that is close. But that mistake was also very costly as Mulder gets an easy pass down the front straight. That would have been extremely frustrating if that was the final lap. But we've got 2 to go on lap 13. And Mulder again takes the 5th spot. And Tripp goes wide again in turn 1. He must have a lot of fans out there that he's just wanting to wave at. As we head towards the back straight, it looks like Burbage is trying to set up a pass. And they do. He's going to run 2-eyed down the back straight. And it looks like he's got a bit more of a run this time around than he did a few laps ago. Into the outer loop. And it looks like Mulder's going to try a late entry and go for a crossover as we hit to the chute. Instead, he goes for the inside for turn 6. But Burbage closes the door there. So will Mulder be able to pull something off in the toe? These two drivers have been fighting tooth and nail these last few laps. Mulder looking for a run, coming down the boot straightaway. But does he have enough to make a move as we hit the heel? It's a good spot to set something up. Burbage holding the inside tight, but Mulder is carrying a bit more momentum, even though Burbage did get the corner. Mulder taking a look to the inside, but not close enough to do anything, and Burbage is going to tighten it up at the exit and close the door again. As we move forward to the last lap, Mulder takes one last chance on the outer loop to get back 5th position. It's where he started, it's where he would like to end up in a top 5 at the end of the race. He doesn't want to lose points ground any more than he has to at this point. But going into the chute, trouble as Mulder cannot hold the line and leaves the inside wide open for Burbage. And it looks like Smith's going to get in on the action here as we head towards the toe of the boot. But I don't think he's going to be close enough. He's running up on Mulder, and it looks like Burbage went wide. Uh-oh. Mulder's gone to the inside as we head down the boot straight, and Smith is not far behind. If these two drivers get into it, Smith might get an easy pass and take 5th place. Into turn 8 for the last time. We'll have to come back to that because there is a big battle up front between Anusi and Williams. I know we haven't really covered them that much this race because they've pretty much been playing catch up the entire time, but Anusi's on the last lap. He's got to make something happen. You know, we were watching the other cars hit this corner earlier. Anusi tries to pull a similar move Mulder does, but not able to pull it off with the worn tires, and it looks like Williams is going to be able to hold him off. Anusi tries the inside in turn 9, but he's now too far back to try to make something work. He's out of time, and that's going to end that battle that lasted all race. Just fantastic racing up front. Just props to both drivers for such a clean race. So your race winner was Johan Hallberg, and 2nd place comes Craig Williams, with 3rd place being Giuseppe Anusi. Mark, despite missing the last 4 races, really came in with a very strong finish of 4th. And at the end of a long battle, Burbage is able to hold off Mulder and take home 5th place. That leaves Andrew Mulder taking 6th and Trip Smith taking 7th. So as we in today's race and look at the point results, this is the first time all series that we had the top qualifiers finish in their starting position. This really shakes things up though as we head towards the last race of the series, and Johan Hallberg at this point has got 1st in the bag. Ironam sitting in 2nd with a comfortable 4-point gain. However, we got a couple of battles to watch out for. You got Giuseppe Anusi and Mulder fighting it out for 4th place, and then you've got Trip Smith and Stephen Burbage fighting it out for 5th. And Scott Johnson and Andrew Horsley looks like will be fighting it out for 9th place as we head towards Daytona. We will be running on the Moto Circuit at Daytona International Raceway on August 1st, 2015. There's a lot on the line on this race, so don't miss out on the practice that will be held that day at 1300 Eastern Daylight Savings Time or 1700 GMT. And remember, the league race lobby opens at 1500 Eastern Daylight Savings Time or 1900 GMT. So we look forward to seeing you there. If you haven't already, subscribe to our YouTube channel if you like what you see. You can also keep up with all of our updates on our Facebook page. I'll include links in the description below. So until next time, keep it between the lines.